Welcome back to the Nacho Kids Podcast.
All right. So last time you said we already had a topic for today.
I did.
Good. What is it?
Cell phones.
Oh, yeah. Cell phones.
Cell phones.
It's funny. I was watching Little House on the Prairie yesterday. I was at mom's house. And so I was watching Little House on the Prairie. There's this point in the show where they're trying to get hold of this guy that's like in a different tower on a train track. And they're doing the Morse code thing? Telegraph. There we go. They're doing the telegraph. And this guy's not in the tower. And you see the little telegraph thing moving, and he's not in the tower. And I was like, why don't he have his phone on him?
And your mama probably went,
Yeah, she rolled her eyes. She's like, yeah, if only.
mm-hmm.
And that started the whole conversation about, I wonder if people back then, if they could see what we have now, how it would blow their mind.
It blows my mind.
Well, on that note, if you can remember, now AI as we know it really is just 3 years old. Matter of fact, it's 3 years old this month, I think.
Really?
It was in November, 1st December, around there in 22 when OpenAI launched ChatGPT. And if you remember, like I found it really early on. And I remember coming to you and saying, Lori, you need to sit down. I've got to show you something. Literally said that. And you sat down and I showed you and your mind was blown. And I had already been using it for like a week or two and I was already like mind blown, which is nothing compared to what it is today in just 3 years.
But you had to be careful. It will throw you off track. Just saying.
Yeah, but I was doing something one day, and I remember I can't remember exactly what it was, but I told you that I had to do something, and you were like, "Yeah, okay." And it just hit me that as amazing and mind blowing as that was 3 years ago, now it's just like, okay, whatever.
Well, it's like you said something the other day. We were talking about someone local that was supposed to be the CEO of this company, and then all of a sudden there's a scandal and he's fired.
Yeah.
And we don't know why. Of course, everybody wants to know why. But like you said, people want to know why till the next thing happens, and then they don't care anymore about that.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned Charlie Kirk.
Yep.
Like, how many people do you see talking about Charlie Kirk now?
Right.
Or September 11th and things like that. Yes, on the anniversary of September 11th. But these things have a great impact on us for a short period of time.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people play on that, especially in the political arena, which I don't follow. They know no matter what the scandal is, in most cases, it's going to blow over within 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can just weather the short-term storm, it'll go away.
Right.
And because people are just going to move on.
Yep.
We are just, there's so much happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not only just in your personal lives, but just everywhere. There's something happening.
Well, you're chasing the carrot, right?
Chasing something. And, we'll get way down a rabbit hole if we follow this.
No, don't.
But people will often create diversions and problems and things somewhere else to get the heat off of them.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about cell phones.
Let's talk about something. Let's talk about how you're going to use cell phones to divert the heat off of you.
No, let's talk about how cell phones between the two homes.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember how old Jackson was when we finally got him a cell phone. Before that, we had iPods.
Yeah.
And so I would communicate with him through a game that we both played.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like texting through the game because he didn't have text.
Right.
And I know when we got him a phone, I put Life 360 on it.
Mm-hmm.
His dad would have never allowed him to take that phone with him anywhere if he would have known Life 360 was on that phone.
Yeah, because you're tracking his daddy.
And that's the thing, is a lot of people will say, oh, you're tracking what we're doing. Well, needless to say, a few years ago, I get a text from my son that said, we had a wreck, find me on Life 360.
Yeah.
Thank God I had that on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
There are many a times that we've talked to people that we've coached and they have an issue with the stepkid coming home during the day and they don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
Life 360 alerts them and tells them. That way they're not shocked when they come home and the kid's there.
Yeah.
So there's benefits to it, but there's also some negative.
Oh, yeah. Definitely negative.
Now, if I would have messaged Jackson's dad and be like, why are you taking my son out of state? I didn't give you permission.
Right.
You didn't let me know. It's not in the court orders.
Yeah. How did you know that?
Right. So you have to be smarter than the average bear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, say that one of your kids had a phone and you and I were fighting and they recorded it and sent it to their mom.
Yeah.
That could be bad.
Yeah.
In fact, I know someone that happened. And needless to say, the stepson was no longer allowed at the house.
Ouch.
Not just not bringing the phone. Just
not even coming.
You've crossed the lines.
Wow.
We don't feel safe with you here, kind of thing.
Did the bio parent feel that way too? Or was that a step
Yes.
parent thing?
Yes.
The bio parent did too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that's where I'll draw the line. And it can
But how would you know?
You probably hear about it.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to know because you got these devices that literally can record audio and video of everything all the time. And it is difficult. The thing that we ran into sometimes was video calls. So they're not recording anything, but they're talking to their bio parent on a video call and they're walking around.
Mm-hmm. They're walking around, so they're hearing, your ex is hearing what we're talking about. They're hearing what's going on in our house.
They're essentially in the house.
Yeah, they're seeing our home, right?
Yeah. And the kids are like, not malicious about it. Ours weren't. They were like, hey, look at the dog. Look at this thing I have. Look at whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, and I had to sit my kids down and say, look, this is how this works. When you're on a video call, that person is essentially in our home. And if that person would not otherwise be in our home, then the video call is not something you should do. If you're going to do a video call, go to your room and then have it there. Don't walk around the house and things like that.
Not that you said that you can't have video calls with your mom.
No.
It's you sit and talk to your mom. You know, you don't need to show her anything in the house. You don't need to, show her Lori or while we're talking or anything like that.
Right. And I would also have preferred, and I don't know that they did it often. Usually I could kind of tell when they were on the phone because you'd hear them talking. But I would say, if you're going to talk to your mom or whatever, if you're going to call her, just let me know. That way, I know that I'm not saying anything that I don't want her to hear.
Right. And it's not that you necessarily are saying anything you don't want them to hear. It's just intrusive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, for anybody.
Right.
It's not just because it's the bio mom, but I'd say it's especially because it's the bio mom.
Mm-hmm. Or the bio dad.
Yeah. So it's not that I don't recommend necessarily saying to the kid, you can't have these phones because they're going to try to sneak away to do it. So it's really more of a matter of, okay, it's not that you can't have them, you can, but let's put some rules around it. Mm-hmm. And let's tell the kid why.
Right.
Even if it doesn't matter if they're 6 or 16, let's tell the kid why these rules matter. Mm-hmm. And
what the consequences will be if you break those rules.
Right. Like it could be that, you're not going to be able to bring the phone over here.
Right. Or when you bring the phone here, you hand it to me and it's cut off until you leave.
Yeah. Or get a Faraday bag. You can get those cheaply on
what?
A Faraday bag. So a Faraday bag, you can get them on Amazon. They're fairly cheap. I think I bought like a 5 or 6 pack of them for like $15. And anyway, you put any electronic inside of there, let's say phones, and it cannot send or receive signals. So it's basically like turning it completely off. But they can't, it can't do it. It can't get Wi-Fi. It can't get data. Can't make phone calls.
So why wouldn't you just cut it off?
You can't do any of that. Well, the reason, I mean, for this conversation, turning it off would be fine. But for people who who know those phones are probably still doing things when they're quote unquote off, that's what a Faraday bag will do. So you can do either one.
Or if your kid comes with a phone from the other parent's home, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go somewhere, let's put your bag in the phone.
Put your bag in the phone.
Let's put your bag in the phone. Let's put your phone in the bag.
Yeah.
That could be part of your rules, right?
Yeah.
Now, also, it comes into who pays for it.
Mm-hmm.
Bio mom can say, well, I pay for that phone. They're going to have it on. Well, ma'am, unless that's in your court order that your child will have a phone and will have access to it 24/7 when they are with the other parent, you can't force that.
No, not inside the home.
Right.
And I don't see a problem with telling a kid if you're gonna call your bio parent, especially if things are very contentious, then you can do that from outside, or you can do that from the garage or the storage building or whatever you want it to be. Like you're not going to do it from inside the home.
Right. And two, what are your options? I have a phone for the child when they're with you, and they have a phone at mom's when they're with her. That's just not reasonable. The kid's going to lose one of them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the kid's got 2 phone numbers. So that's just not realistic.
Yeah.
Let's talk about monitoring them.
Okay.
Buy a mom, buys little Susie a phone.
Mm-hmm.
She has TikTok on there. She's 9 years old. She's got YouTube, access to everything. And dad says, no, I don't want you watching that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So dad tries to go on the phone and remove it. Well, he can't. He doesn't have the password.
All right.
Because bio mom has the password.
Yep.
So that's when, again, you go over what your boundaries are and your rules are.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to have your phone here, I need the password. Ideally, you as a parent would be able to call the other parent and say, I really don't think that TikTok is something that little Susie should be watching.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, I didn't realize. And then they remove it. But we know how that works.
Yep.
If you can monitor the phone, that's great. As a bio parent, not as a step parent,
Right.
as a bio parent.
Right.
And so many step parents will go, well, he doesn't know how, so I have to do it for him. No.
He needs to learn how.
If he wants to know how, he will learn how.
That's right.
Do not put that target on your back.
Mm-mm. No, because then you become the hall monitor, the digital hall monitor.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see what Susie was doing? Did you this? Did you that?
And so you're nagging about their kid, complaining about their kid. All they hear is negativity about their kid. And then the kid's mad because stepmom went through their phone. It's just a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not your place.
My dad's like, quit nagging me about this.
Right.
Because they don't hear your kid's doing all this stuff you don't want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
What they hear is your kid's awful, you're a terrible parent, and what are you going to do about all this?
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I know several parents have said, no cell phones at our house.
Mm-hmm.
You're not bringing it.
Sure.
And then the kid brings it, sneaks it in.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
I don't know. What happened? What's the consequence?
The parent takes the phone and cuts it off and returns it to them when they get ready to go back to their other parents.
After World War III ensues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. I also heard of a story one time that the dad took the phone.
Mm-hmm.
When the bio mom found out, she called the police because it was her property.
Good luck with that one.
So the police came to the dad's,
right,
and they took the phone.
Yeah.
That didn't benefit the child.
No.
I guess the mom was afraid the dad wouldn't send the phone back or what.
Yeah.
Something.
That's crazy, but okay.
Now, I've also seen where a bio mom will say, my child does not feel safe there. And by taking their phone, you are preventing them from calling and getting help. If your child does not feel safe there, they shouldn't be going.
Yeah, you got bigger issues than a phone.
Right. Now, in case any of you didn't know this, don't know why I'm telling you, but I'm going to tell you. If David and I are fighting and he takes my phone, guess what?
That's a problem.
It's considered domestic violence.
Wow. Yeah, because then you can't call 911.
Right.
Unless you got a good old landline.
Yep. Because you are preventing me from getting help.
Yep.
If I need it.
If we're fighting.
If we were fighting.
That's why we don't fight.
But I didn't know that. I found that out. A friend of mine's son got charged with domestic violence because he took his girlfriend's phone away.
Wow. That's rough because, domestic violence convictions carry a lot of issues. Like, there's the 3 strikes rule with that. It can be after the second time or whatever, it's a felony. You lose the right to have a firearm. There's all kind of stuff that can happen with domestic violence convictions. That's rough.
Yep. Well, let me clarify. I will say in our state. I don't know in other states.
Okay.
Because I know somebody's going, not here, not here. Well, in South Kakalaki,
that's
also known as South Carolina, that's the way it is.
Okay.
All right. So if you have a child that goes between the 2 homes and they are about to get a step phone.
That's a good one. We just created a new product, y'all.
Goodness gracious. And they are about to get a cell phone. And you know this because they've told you or your ex has told you. Try to create those ground rules before the phone comes in the home.
Yep.
That way there's no questions. It's not like they get the phone, then all of a sudden there's these rules. It's they understand the rules and the consequences prior to the phone being brought to your home.
Yeah. And kind of on the same note, if you are in a relationship, early stages of a step relationship, if you're going to make changes to policies like that in your home, do it before the relationship gets deeper or before the step person moves in or gets married or all that. In other words, you don't want all this change tied to this new person.
Right. So little Susie has a phone. She's always been allowed to bring it to Dad's house. All of a sudden, she's allowed to keep it in her room, charge it at night. Stepmom comes in. All of a sudden, it's no, all phones go on this charger in the kitchen at nighttime, so nobody's on their phone. Guess who's to blame?
Yep. Stepmom.
Stepmom. Stepkid is now mad at stepmom.
Yep. And it's probably stepmom's fault.
Yep.
But
even if Dad says, hey, little Susie, we're going to start implementing this at night. You put your phone here. They know it came from the stepmom.
Yeah. And even if it's not true, even if it's Dad decided to make that change, it's still going to be, okay, from a logical standpoint, what else has changed that might have brought this on?
Right.
That's what they're going to look at.
Mm-hmm. Got a scenario, David.
Okay.
Little Johnny has a phone.
Mm-hmm.
You've told little Johnny, dude, you can't bring the phone here because we know that you're recording us and sending your mama videos and whatever. So you can't bring your phone here.
Right.
When little Johnny comes to visit or for his time with you, do you search his bag? Or do you trust little Johnny to have remembered the rule? Or do you ask, hey, little Johnny, do you have your phone? Because remember, you weren't supposed to bring your phone here. We need to give it back to your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Or we need to put it up till you go back to your mom's.
Right.
How do you think you would handle that? As a step parent, I'd be like, search them down.
Yeah.
Search them down. Pat them down. Pull everything out the backpack.
So I'm a believer of trust but verify. Now, I think I would initially ask the kid and then hope I get the truth. And depending on who the kid is, or what the relationship is, I think that I could probably trust their word, or I could at least tell they were lying. Now, having said that, depending on trust issues and
I'm
all
not
this other
saying
stuff,
nothing.
I would probably search the bag. Yeah.
And too often it would be Dad just trusts the kid. Dad and the kid go outside. Stepmom goes through the bag and finds the phone. And she tells her husband or her partner.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what happens?
Then they mad at her.
Not only that, but it becomes an issue from the phone being the concern
To stepmom.
to stepmom complaining about the kid.
Well, not just that, but stepmom going through the bag and all the other stuff.
Mhm.
Because again, if dad decided not to do that and stepmom did it anyway,
Mhm.
now it's basically signaling that she doesn't trust him and how he's parenting, and she proved him wrong. And what are you going to do about all
And
this?
prove that the kid was lying.
Yeah. So what she's thinking is, the kid's lying. You shouldn't have trusted him. And so now, what are you going to do about this? And what he's thinking is, you had no business going through his bag. And why are you trying to prove I'm a terrible parent? And why are you trying to prove that my kid is a liar? And I'm telling you, from a lot of information that we get from other people
And experience.
yeah, this is not going to go well for you.
Mm-mm.
No, don't do it.
No.
But yeah, I mean, if it's if I felt like it was something you wanted, this is where the relationship between me and you, I'm just glad me and you, the two adults in the relationship, this is where this is important, because if I felt like it was something you wanted, I wouldn't be as apt to enforce it. Whereas if it's something I wanted, I would be more apt to enforce it.
Yeah, because if you enforce it because I want you to, then you're going to be mad at me because you feel like I made you do something you didn't want to do.
Yeah. If you were saying, I don't want the kids to have phones in the house, I'd be like, all right, whatever. They come in, do you have a phone? No, daddy. Okay. Whatever. Now, if it's me, like, I don't want to have phones in here, and they come in, do you have a phone? No. All right, open your bag up. Like, I'm going to be more apt to do it because I want it done versus I'm just trying to appease you.
Right. But you do trust your kids until they give you a reason not to.
I try to.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Give them the rope.
Then there's also I don't think they should have a phone at all. As a bio parent or as a step parent.
Mm-hmm.
Your ex buys the 7-year-old a phone. You're like, no, they don't need a phone. What do? The same thing. You don't have to allow it in your home, or you don't have to allow it to be on in your home if you don't agree with it. Bio mom can let the kids watch R-rated movies if she wants to. There's nothing you can do about it, regardless of what your court order says. But in your home, you don't have to let them watch R-rated movies just because mom does.
All right.
You don't have to let them be on their phone all day just because mom does.
Yep.
But then that's where guilty parent syndrome comes in.
Yeah. Well, just realize you're going to be the bad guy.
Yep.
You know, the kid's going to look at you like, why are you parenting me so much?
Well, mom lets me do it.
Yeah. I mean, how many times did I hear that conversation?
Mm-hmm.
You know, all the time. Mom lets me do this. Mom lets me do that. Mom doesn't punish me for this. Mom doesn't punish me. Yeah, I was hardcore terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I probably was only parenting half as strictly as I should have been.
Or would normally have been.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of a joke, but they just weren't getting parented on the other side.
Mm-hmm. Now, we do have situations where the stepmom knows that the child is posting what they consider inappropriate videos, whether it's complaining about the stepmom or a little too provocative for their age, things like that.
Right.
Or that they're even talking to people they don't know online,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
We always say you do not nacho safety. If you know little Susie is being put in a situation that could result in her being harmed, tell the bio parent.
Yeah.
Tell your partner.
And honestly, I mean, the whole online gaming thing, I say keep kids off of it, period. If you let your kids play games like Roblox, which is a massively popular game, you need to look it up. As a parent, you need to do some searching. There are a massive amount of
child predators,
pedophiles on this platform. And worse than that, the platform knows about it and will not do anything about it. Do some research. It will take you all of 5 minutes to find this information. I'm telling you, it is terrible.
Now, our kids played Roblox.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was years ago, so I don't know if it was the same then as it is now, because these platforms sometimes take a while before they get bad. And honestly, it's not the. I expect these type of people to be on these platforms where kids are.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't expect is a company that's going to basically support it and not do anything to try to prevent it.
Right.
And again, this is documented. For Roblox, go out there and search YouTube, search whatever you want to search. It's out there.
What about Fortnite?
I don't know about that one specifically. I know about Roblox specifically because I've seen some very recent videos about it and about they actually had people that were basically going after the child predators on there. Mm-hmm. So they're kind of like digital vigilantes, right? They're going after the people that are trying to hurt your kids, and they're trying to get them off the platform or get them found out of who they are and get them prosecuted. So the platform bans the vigilante people.
And keeps the predators.
It keeps the child predators on there, but bans the vigilante people trying to protect the kids. That blows my mind. My mind. So anyway, regardless of what the game is, you need to spend a few minutes at least doing some research on what the game is, what it's all about, how the interaction works between people on there, because any platform that is going to target kids is also going to invite in child predators.
Right. And I think this is a good time to bring up, you should know a lot about what your kids are looking at.
Mm-hmm.
You should talk to your kids at a young age about talking to people they don't know, giving them information. Like, you don't want them giving your address out.
Yeah. And don't send pictures.
Don't send pictures. That's where I was going. There is a big thing, sextortion, where somebody on Instagram pretends to be somebody they're not. They say, we'll send you a picture. You send me a picture. The kid does it. Next thing you know, the original person says, hey, I'm going to show everybody on your friends list. This usually starts on Instagram, I think. But then they go outside of Instagram and start emailing people. And they're like, hey, either you give us $500 or we're going to show your mom and dad and everybody on your email list, however they get that stuff, what you sent us.
Mm-hmm.
Your little nasty picture.
I'd be like, that was AI generated.
Or give us $600.
Yeah.
And the kid's freaking out. They don't have $600. They're afraid that their friends and family are going to ridicule them, shame them, be disappointed, all this stuff. And in turn, they take their own lives.
Yeah, this has happened multiple times.
Bunches and bunches and bunches.
Yep. So,
and it continues to happen.
Be careful on these platforms. Even the AI platforms, people are massively misusing. I know we're going off topic here a little bit, but really these are apps that are on the phones.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're easy to get. You don't have to be 21 to get the chat app.
Right. But
the chat app,
But these
app.
applications, AI stuff, there's all kinds out there. And sometimes they're not using the ones that are typically used. In other words, it's not the Chat GPT or the Gemini or the Claude, the ones that you hear about. These are ones that are specifically made to create characters that that you can chat with, and these characters
make a friend.
Yeah. I think one of them's called Character AI. It's been around a while. There's bunches of them. I mean, these things come out all the time. But they literally are created to build rapport and a relationship with the people they chat with. Mm-hmm. This has already been proven to be problematic with adults. Imagine how bad it is for kids.
Yeah, they need advice on something. They're afraid to ask their mom or dad or friends or whatever. And they go in and ask chat or AI, whatever it's called. And they ask it, well, what do you think I should do?
Yeah. And we've looked at some of the ones like Grok that has the ability for it to take on different personalities. Remember the one I showed you where it was like, one of them was talking sensually to you.
Oh, yeah.
The other one was like
Yeah.
filthy mouth person talking
Yeah.
to you. Another one was like a conspiracy theorist
Yep.
talking to
Yep.
you. And that's just a small taste of what's out there. There are platforms that are specifically built that you can build your own AI, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever.
And there have been kids that, again, have taken their own lives because this thing told them to.
Yep.
And I know that's hard for some of you to fathom because for us, we're like, what? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking children that their brain isn't even half developed at a teenage age. They're 13. Their brain's not even half developed. Their hormones are going crazy. And they don't know what to do. They get in a bind. They, ask chat, oh, this guy's got a picture of me, says they're going to show my parents. What should I do? Oh, you should, this is ruining your life. You'll never have a good life.
Yeah, that's not what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so be careful about what they do on the phones. Even if you're like, you know what, they can have the phones. I don't care. They can call their mom, all this other stuff. You still need to be aware of what they've got on there. If you can, there are definitely apps out there that can help you keep track of what's on the phone and what's happening on the phone. There's also other ways that are more technical that you could track, and I don't want to go through all that.
And the thing is, the kids are smarter than we are with these phones.
Yeah.
So they know the ways to get around that stuff too.
Yeah, oftentimes they can. Sometimes.
Oh, and here's the other thing. Sorry, can I interrupt?
Yeah.
If you don't allow your kid to have a phone because you're afraid they're going to see something on TikTok, well, 98% of their friends have phones. They're going to see that. You can't shelter them from seeing things.
No, but you can not allow it in your home.
And you can prepare them and raise them to where if their friend's showing them something that's not age appropriate or whatever, or gruesome, that they're like, no, that's not for me.
Right. Heck, I even had to tell one of my kids the other day. He's told me something somebody sent him, and he's like, dude, I can't unsee that. And I said, you need to respond back to a person when they do that and say, do not ever send me stuff like this.
Was it a friend of theirs?
Yeah. It was like, check this out. This is crazy. And it was crazy, but it was like, it's something you shouldn't be sharing.
Right.
I said, because this time it might be something extremely inappropriate, and the next time it could be child pornography, and you're going to be going to jail.
Yep.
So you need to draw a line in the sand and be like, no, this is not appropriate, not even funny appropriate.
Right. Right. And you need to have these talks with your kids as a bio parent. And as a step parent, depending on the relationship you have with the kids, you can talk to them about this stuff in a caring, supportive, mentor-like way, but not in a parenting way.
Yep.
You will get much further as a confidant and sharing things with them than you would.
Yeah. And I always explain why. You'd be surprised how far it gets you when you explain to kids why these things matter versus, cause I said so.
Yeah.
I know that's the quick answer, and it's funny because as much as I said, I'll never say that. I did it. I did it a million times. Did it a million times because it's just, sometimes it's like, I don't have time to deal with this right now. It's because I said so.
Mm-hmm.
But take the time to explain to the kids why it matters, and you'll get a lot further with it because they don't know. They're like, this is stupid. When they say this is stupid, they're not saying you're stupid. They're saying, I don't understand why this matters.
Right. Exactly. And one last thing is, say your kid's got a phone at 8 years old. So when Jackson turns 8, he thinks he's getting a phone. Nope. Just because you, as a parent to your kids, allow something doesn't mean that I have to allow the same for my kids.
Yep.
And you can say, well, that's not fair. It doesn't matter. Life's not fair, number one. Number two, I'm their parent. And that's what I would tell my son. I would say, Jackson, David thinks it's okay for his kids to have phones at 8 years old. I don't think that's appropriate. As your mom, you're not getting one till you're 12.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep. I mean, for us, for us, we always explain to the kids that, yes, we're a blended family, we're a step family, but we're also two different families living under the same roof. And some things are separate and some things are together.
Like the Venn diagram.
Right. And so if I decide to allow my kids to do something and Lori decides not to allow her kid to do it, that's completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
And they needed to understand that this is not an environment where all the rules apply to everybody the exact same way all the time.
And even in nuclear families, that's the case because every child is different.
Yep.
And we've talked about that before. You could discipline one child one way and they don't care.
Yeah.
Put the same discipline on another child and they think their world's ended.
Yep. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
All right, y'all. That's all we're going to talk about for cell phones for right now.
That's right. Okay. We'll see you again next week. But until then, remember, life is good.
When you nacho. Oh, and if you have a story you want to share about cell phones, put it in the comments.
Yep. Meaning YouTube. We didn't mention that. If you're listening to the podcast, head over to YouTube and leave your comments.
All right. Take care.
Bye.